Hey, Comment, what's up? You helping me fix pinballs? Huh? Are you helping me fix pinballs? Yeah? Yeah? You're a good boy, aren't you? Alright, Lucky Ace number 2. This is the TVMGC one. This is number 3. If you went to MGC, Midwest Gaming Classic in 2024, you might have played this one, and it had googly eyes like Arnold. Those are actually the eyes that were on it. Anyways, customer bought this game because I believe his aunt and uncle had this game, and he used to play this game as a kid. I don't know why he couldn't get this game at the time. However, he wanted this game, but he bought this one. So, and then recently, he just got this one. So he wanted to get this one fixed, and he said he moved this game to a different part of his house, and then when he plugged it back in, it just went into a full reset, wouldn't start a game. So I said, just bring it over, because he lives really, really, really far. I said, bring this one over. When you bring this one over, I'll rebuild this one, and I'll just go through this one to make sure nothing is wrong. However, I did go through. I'm going through the Playfield right now, and everything looks awesome. You know, all the switches are, you know, doing their thing. They're opening and closing as they should. I didn't find anything wrong with the Playfield. Only thing I really did was I zip tied this over just so these wires don't lean this way. That's about it. And I tightened up one gap on a pop bumper. It was a little wide, and then this wire here, I just didn't like the way it was connected, so I took it off and resoldered it. But I went through all these switches. I went through all the back wiring. Everything's good. Like I said, I just went through all these wirings. This was the only one I just didn't like. It was soldered on great. It just had a couple like strands popping off of it. So I decided, let's just put it on correctly, fully. That's the double bonus really, but that was working. That's really about it. I tightened up the slingshot switches, make them a little tighter. Sometimes if you brush a slingshot, you won't get enough of a kick from it. So I've been tightening up these switches here. These are your point switches. There's one on each slingshot. So I've been tightening those up more, because sometimes if you just brush a slingshot, it will fire so quick, you won't get any points out of it. So now I'm making that gap smaller, so when it does fire even a little bit, you're getting points out of it. Like I said, didn't find really anything wrong. Stepper is stepping good. They're all tight and doing their thing. Yeah. But like I said, I think when the cabinet got moved, maybe something got, you know, bumped, jammed, whatever, and it just stayed in full reset because it was sticking. You know, maybe one of the relays got jarred and not wanting to do what it did. But I'm going to pull out this board here and go through it, and just to make sure, go through all the connections, make sure they're all good, go through all the wires, make sure they're still soldered on good, go through the score motor and make sure all these wires are attached good. I do believe, I can't remember if it was this game or a Skylab. It might have been a Skylab where actually one of these wires were loose. From what I look at it now, it had to have been the Skylab, because I don't see anything where it's got new solder on it where I did that. So it must have been the Skylab. Yes, it was the Skylab. Now I remember. This one drove me nuts because these wires here, as you can see, they're all bent way out. On one of them, when I put them back together, I had them almost touching. And when they were almost touching, they would touch every now and then with slingshots, banging the table. They were just enough. So now on all these lucky aces, well, this one and that one, I make sure that these are bent and far apart from each other, so there's no way that these can touch. I had these like originally really close. Well, whoever went through the machine before I did had them really close, and I just left them. But yeah, I was getting that phantom switch hit and couldn't figure out why. And then when I popped it up and looked at it, I seen that these were all touching. So now I bend these so they cannot. I mean, look at that. You got a finger gap between each switch now. I bend them all. So this was the first one I did where I bent them, and then that's the second machine where I did where I bent them. But overall, yeah, it's looking just as good as the day I put it back together and brought it to MGC. This was a flawless game at MGC. No issues. So, which it should. It's an EM. Once you get them tuned in, they usually have no issues. Like I said, when he moved it, that's when it developed. It just got stuck into a reset loop. When I did go through the head, I did tweak a couple of the contacts in the score reels. So maybe that was it. You know, they were a little tight. Not tight enough where, you know, they were bad, but maybe just the right bump on the machine, it arced them or something. So that was the only thing I think I adjusted in here was just the score reels. I gave those a little adjustment. These are all okay. Yeah, nothing. It's so weird seeing the same game. I had two Gulfstreams in my basement once too, which was weird. My Gulfstream and then a Gulfstream that used to be at the Garcade, which isn't anymore. EMs are very hard to route. These are 50-year-old games. They like to be beat on, but they don't want to be beat on for 10 hours a day. And when you do that, you do have to go through and clean and make sure everything's adjusted. There's a big reason why they don't make these no more, and they went all to this. These games are smart. If they got something stuck or whatever on them, they turn that part off or whatever. These ones, you get a stuck switch, you'll melt the coil like that game and blow fuses and do all different kinds of weird stuff like that game. Yeah. That game is I don't know, it's my headache right now. But I need to get these two out. I got two more coming in. That one I am waiting for one of my friends to get off vacation. He's been restoring these games since the 80s, and he knows a lot about the Bally's. The Bally's are a little different. They have a lot of extra wires in them that they didn't use on some games and stuff. So, yeah. Williams I like. No extra wires, nothing. The other Bally I did, bow and arrow, that had a lot of extra wires. I thought somebody had cut that game apart. But anyways, so we're going to take this. Oh, this was one of my first games where I didn't polish the chimes. I just brushed them. I kind of like that look more. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to pull this board out next, and we'll go through it, see what it's doing, what it's not doing. I believe it just got jarred in the move, and it just got itself out of whack. And then when it got moved again, it whacked itself back in. If you know, you can figure that out. This one's done. The hammer is for, there's like nails that are under here. You can kind of see them right there. I didn't have them pounded in all the way, so when I put the plastics on, they were up too high. See, here's some nails too. Here, nails are normal on these machines. This one doesn't have one. And then there's one here. But under the plastics, there's nails. As you can see, we got one there, and then there's one there. Those keep the plastics so they don't droop down. But this one, when I put them back in, because I take all these out when I go through the games, and when I put it back in, apparently I didn't put it down all the way, so I had to use my hammer and tap it down. Notice this is Lucky 3. So yeah, I just got to put the pop bumper caps back on the new bodies that it's got. But otherwise, yeah, I believe this game is done, and it plays beautifully. It plays beautifully, and then I can put the glass back in. So anyways, yeah, this I'm going to throw it off probably here next to the last section here, and I'll pull that board out. And hopefully, I would actually like to find something wrong just for my peace of mind. I don't have to worry about this going back out and developing the same problem again. So I actually want to find something wrong, a loose wire or something, or a wire that's touching. That's my goal. I do want to find something. Like I said, I did tweak stuff in the head that was a little close. EMs, when they heat up, they do move leaves around. So I'm hoping to find actually something. But anyways, if we don't, we don't. That's nothing I can do. And I do got to cut one of these wires off because we're not using coins anymore, and this doesn't need to get energized. As you can see, this one I already did cut right there. Don't want to energize them for no reason. So this one's got 2 coin slots on it, and this one only had 1. But they're both 2 plays for a quarter. Weird. Anyways, so you're good. You're all good. I just got to check switches when I take the plastics off, but from what I can see through here, they all look not touching. But when I get on top of them, I'll be able to see them better. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping I can find something that's just a little goofy. For my peace of mind, so when this goes, I don't ever see it again. That's my goal. I don't want to ever see these again, because then I know they've been working for years, and I've got several out there. I've never heard back from the customer again. And when I have heard from them, they're like, yeah, things work beautiful every day. But yeah, so okay, let's get that off and that on. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment. Just 'cause subscribing is free. Look down below. There's some cool comment gear. You can get a comment approved shirt or whatever. Everything goes back into the basement for tools, cleaning supplies, projects, all that cool stuff. So give me a thumbs up. Take care, and later.